Hey guys, I'm back with another YouTube video, and today I'll be going over a full set, how to prevent lifting, as well as some 90s themed artwork. So here I'm pushing my client's cuticles back, and when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you are going side wall to side wall. You want to make sure that you push everything back, and some people do have tougher cuticles, so you may have to apply a little bit of pressure with other people, but don't hurt your client. Next, I'm using a cuticle bit to remove any cuticle that is on her natural nail, and when you are doing this, you want to make sure that you're holding this bit flat, because if not, you're not going to remove anything. And when I first was using these bits, I bought like 6 of them thinking that they didn't work or they were bad quality, because I was using them as if I was sealing her cuticles, and you don't want to do that because you may damage their nail plate. So remember to hold it flat to the nail plate. Now I'm using my fine grit sanding band to remove the shine off of her nail plate, and when you're doing this, you do want to use it at a low speed, and I'm also only going from right to left. I'm not going back and forth on my client's nail. This is how I personally like to prep my client's nail, and like I said, I'm only going from right to left, and I'm getting as close to the cuticle as possible without cutting her. And to prevent cutting her, I feel like I'm talking so fast. And to prevent from cutting her, I did go over on like the edges with a regular grit file, just to make sure. You never can be too safe. I did already apply the nail tips, and I'm using no C-curve square tips. This is my first time using them. They was nice, but I think I like the C-curve tips better. So I'm gonna play me shaping this nail in real time, and like I said, it was my first time using them, and I probably should have trimmed the sidewalls just a little bit, because I did have to go back in and continue to shape until I really got the shape that I was looking for. When I'm filing these nails, I'm not filing directly against the sidewalls. I am slightly underneath the nail as I'm filing, and I did also use this file to blend in the nail tips. Now I am using 80 grit files, and you'll never use an 80 grit file on your client's natural nail. So if you are going to use this hand file to blend in the nail tip, you have to be extremely cautious that you're not going over their nails. And you can honestly just go all over that and just go straight to using your sanding band to do it. Because I've been doing this for a long time, so I know that I'm not touching my client's nail plate. But you don't want to take no risk. You don't want no thin nail plates. I'm going to continue to shape the rest of these nails, and if you need a more detailed tutorial on nail shaping, I'm going to leave that video down below. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but take your time when you're working. It's not about who's the fastest. It's not about how fast you can go. Speed is going to increase over time and with practice. If you can't do a set in 2 hours right now, that's okay. You don't have to rush yourself. Most of my sets that's on my YouTube and on my Instagram took probably over 2 hours. I think people have this like idea that nails are supposed to be fast. Of course, because salons, and that's because they are quick services. But it's a difference between like nails that you get at a nail salon and like someone's like personal artwork. And not that nail salon nails aren't anyone's artwork, but y'all know what I'm talking about. There's definitely a difference. So you don't want to start to compare yourself to how fast shop moves compared to you doing all that work on them nails. Like, it is okay if it takes you a little longer to complete a set. Like I said, as time continues to pass, you'll get way faster. Also, I didn't record me applying the primer to her nails. I don't know why I never record that for some reason. But I used my NSI dehydrator, and honestly, you can use any dehydrator. My Young Nails Protein Bond and my No Lift Primer, and I'm going to leave them all in the description down below. But that is what I use to prep. Now, before you even apply any dehydrator, primer, anything, you do want to make sure that you remove any dust, anything, any visible debris off of their nails, because if you don't, the nails will lift. Also, I know y'all realize that I do have on gloves. I definitely need to get stronger gloves because the nail file, of course, was tearing my gloves up. But I don't really mess with the monomer touching my skin, especially on my dominant hand. It really irritates my hand, so wear gloves. Don't be like me. That was a dumb thing to do. Well, it wasn't dumb. I didn't know. I didn't know about contact dermatitis back then. But I know now, and clearly it's too late because my hand. Before I apply my colored acrylic, I am going to place a very small bead of clear acrylic onto her natural nail. Now for the application, I did place my first bead pretty high, and whenever you do want to start at the nail tip with your first bead, especially with extra long nails, you do want to make sure you use a larger bead so that you're able to bring the color all the way to the bottom of the nail without having to add more acrylic. So before I actually start to bring my acrylic down, I am going to make sure that all of the acrylic is on top of the nail before I start to bring my acrylic down. And when you're bringing your acrylic down, you want to make sure that the acrylic is from side wall to side wall, because that's another thing that could cause your lifting. Also, when you're bringing your acrylic down, I try my best to focus on shaping it afterwards. Meaning, make sure you get the acrylic to the bottom of the nails before you start going back in on the side walls and removing any extra acrylic, because you really do want to make sure the acrylic gets to the bottom of the nail. Now I'm placing my next bead right above the last, but I'm still making sure I leave enough space for my cuticle application. And before I start to bring my bead down, once again, I'm making sure all of the acrylic is side wall to side wall before I start to bring it down. Lastly, for my cuticle application, make sure you're holding the finger down and apply the bead away from the cuticle area. Then you're slowly going to push the acrylic up into the area, and if anything spills over, you can use the tip of your brush to clean it up. Now after you apply your colored acrylic, always check the side walls of the nails. Look at the nail from the side just to make sure it wasn't too thick, because if you do make the nails thick with your color, of course you won't have to add as much clear. And with this nail, I really didn't need to add too much clear, so I did end up having to later go back and file it, but y'all know things happen. Here, I'm capping the nail with clear using the same 3-bead method, but for my apex bead, I do dry the bead out before I start to bring the bead down, and I'll be doing this next. For me, when I'm doing my apex bead, I try my best not to wipe all of the acrylic off. So after I place it, and I make sure that the top of the bead is flat to the nail to prevent anything from being bumpy after this bead, I quickly blend the bottom of the bead before going back in and continuing to smooth out the whole nail. For this nail, I'll be doing the same thing, but now that I've learned from my mistakes, I'm not going to use as much as my pink acrylic. And I will leave down below the name of this color and where I got it. Guys, remember, as soon as you place the bead down, you do want to make sure that the top of the bead is flat to the nail, so that when you're going in with your next bead, you won't have to worry about seeing that line. Like, if y'all did them before, y'all know what I'm talking about. It would be like a real harsh line there, especially when you're using clear acrylic. So just make sure that the top of the bead is flat before you start to bring the rest of that acrylic down. y'all really like my basic application video. I really hope that I'm explaining this to you guys very clearly. I kind of feel like I am, but y'all let me know down below if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or just anything. Comment down below. So as I'm continuing to do the application, what do you guys do if a client doesn't like their nails but doesn't say anything to you until they leave? Like, I'm talking like hours later, almost next day kind of thing. Like, what do y'all do in that situation? Because I've had a situation like that before where I took a client, where I took a client as a squeeze-in, and you know, she came, but she had came with some nails on. I don't know if I told y'all this before, but she came with some nails on, but I do fillings, so it wasn't a problem. But you know, y'all, with the colored acrylic fillings, you gotta get a color that's darker than the last, unless you're able to unless you have the time to just file everything down as much as you can. But I couldn't do the color that she wanted, so we decided to do another color. And she had got like some kind of cow print design in orange on top. I liked them. I thought they were really cute. But later in the day, she did let me know that, you know, she didn't like them, but I kind of felt like she was being rude about it. Like, she told me that she needed to come back before you know, set date, because she had a trip coming up, which I understood. And you know, she told me that I didn't give her what she wanted or what she asked for. But the thing was, when she sat in the chair and I told her that, you know, she had a limited amount of things that she can get because she had hot pink nails, and I got to put a color on top of this, you know, it's, you know, like, I thought I liked them, you know, that had hurt my feelings. But it was kind of like I was saying, after I told her she had a limited amount of, you know, choices, she just told me to do what I want. So it didn't make sense to me to tell me that I didn't give you what you want or what you asked for. But you didn't ask me for nothing. You told me that I do what I can. Like, so I did what I could. And I really did like them. But I just wanted to know, like, not trying to, like, bash her or nothing. Like, I'm not mad or nothing about it. It wasn't that serious. I did later tell her that I wasn't interested in, like, taking her as a client anymore because she came off as rude. She apologized and said that she was just upset and stuff, which I understand. But then again, you didn't tell me when you were here, therefore that you being upset, what I do, you can't be upset with me. Like, that don't mean come at me crazy. But I just wanted to know, you know, what would y'all do in that situation. Like I said, it's no shade to her, things happen. I'm not mad about it. I wasn't mad about it, but I'm just not gonna deal with that. Like, if you're sitting in my chair, if you don't like something, you need to speak up immediately, because this is acrylic. It is not nail polish. I can't just, you know, take it off. But like I said, things happen. And in that situation, y'all know me, I'm real calm. Like, you know, it was no issue. I did, you know, apologize or whatever, so on and so forth, even though she should have said something. But, you know, comment down below. What would y'all do? Like, have y'all ever experienced something that was similar? Let me know. Now, for my thumb application, I do pick up bigger beads, and someone had asked me if doing the thumbs is hard. Doing thumbs are not hard. You just have to get used to picking up more acrylic. Now, if y'all think doing thumbs is hard, you are going to run into clients that have naturally wide or naturally like larger nail beds. So you got to get used to the thumbs anyway, because you never know, you may have a client one day that has all thumbs. Now for sealing the cuticles, I am using a 5-in-1 fine drill bit that I got off of Amazon, and I will leave it down below, of course. But when I'm doing this, I am going from right to left, and I'm only going to go from right to left. I do not go back and forth with this drill bit. Me personally, I do not. And also when I'm following the body of the nail, I do go down and across the nail. But for the most part, I like using my hand file. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I really do like using my hand file. But I'm trying to get out of that, so you know, just less time, less arm work. So I am now using my 80 grit file to file the side walls, as well as remove anything that may be under the nail, any ridges, any extra nail tip, that all gotta go. And you guys see me now using my hand file to go over the top of the nail, and I do this until the entire nail is white, pretty much except for near the cuticles, and then later on I'll use my buffer to remove the scratches. Now when you're using your hand file, if you do decide to use your hand file on the nails, if it doesn't turn white when you're going over it, it's a dip or some type of bump or something is in the way of the file, and it won't turn white. So if you are doing this and a piece of the nail doesn't turn white, I just continue to file it until it does, because then I know it's smooth. As you guys can see, I did end up tearing my gloves up, and it was because the gloves I have were way too loose. They was a medium and I'm a small, so I did end up taking them off before I did the polish application. And of course, after I took my gloves off, I sanitized my hands and her hands. Yes ma'am, we're being safe over here. And y'all, remember that sealing the cuticles is extremely important when it comes to lifting. And when I first started doing nails, my nails was popping off, and it was because I wasn't properly sealing the cuticles, and I didn't know until I took a class. And she be watching my videos. If you see this, shout out to you. I appreciate her so much, because I kid y'all not, right after I took the class, I never had a lifting issue again. And I used to be so upset about nails popping off, coming off. Y'all, don't stress it, because there was a time where I really thought my nails was gonna always do this, and now my clients be having their nails on for like a week. So don't stress nothing. It all comes with practice, your own research, paying for classes, whatever you gotta do to get to the top. So for my 90s theme art, I am using some gel polish I got off of Amazon, and I'm also using some gel paint that I got off of Amazon. Honestly, I'm doing this on her nails at random. There's no exact order that I'm going in, but I am going to first apply my first two pink colors onto the nail. Y'all, I was so nervous doing these nails because it was my first time doing this. She's a regular, and it was her last set before she was going back to school. These had to be perfect. After letting the gel cure for 60 seconds, I'm now applying my second pink color, and I love the fact that I did everything pink. I think they look amazing. I'm also not trying to be perfect when I'm applying my gel polish. I'm honestly doing this at random, like I said, and I'm not even making sure that it's covering the entire nail. I'm just placing the pink where I think it will look best and moving on. So now I'm using my gel paint to create my lines, and I was a little nervous doing this too, but you get the hang of it really quick. You just want to make sure that you're using your pinky to pretty much keep yourself stable as you're doing this. I actually wasn't using my pinky to keep my hand stable. You guys can see that I was using my middle finger, but it's only because I kind of hold stuff weird. We all know this already. So that was the reason why I was doing that. But I did get more used to using my pinky now, because these nails are actually kind of old. I told y'all I got videos on videos for y'all. So y'all let me know. Like, y'all already was letting me know in the last video that y'all trying to see all the nails. So I may every once in a while drop 2 videos a week. Y'all gotta let me know though, cause I don't know if I'm hearing y'all loud enough. Also, she did bring multiple reference pictures, so I wasn't just coming up with these lines out of nowhere. I was actually looking at the nails and just deciding what I wanted to add on to my set. Now I'm going in with my white gel paint and I'm kind of following along the lines of the black, but I'm also gonna just do my own thing with the white. These nails are pretty much abstract. Like, you can really do what you want to do to these nails. I've seen so many different versions of these nails and they all look nice, so just do your own thing. I'll also be using this light pink color on her nails too, doing the same thing that I was doing with the white polish. Overall, doing these nails were fun, and I think I am going to add them right onto my price list just so that my clients can get a feeling and just get something new on top of the nails. Once I'm finished doing my pink lines, I am going to add a few black and white dots onto the nail, and I'll pretty much be done with them. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also let me know down below what y'all want to see next. Any questions, comments, anything, let me know. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. You want to do the matte?